my 30s, which is illegal. So there's a reason you don't know who I am. I love being here Saturday night. It means I get out of date night with my boyfriend. And about half of you were like, is the joke that she dates men? I get how I dress. It's fine. I understand it. I usually have several women come up to me after a show trying to test my straightness. And it's like, no, honey. Men have tested it plenty. All right, good. I've been living with my boyfriend for about 6 years. We've been living together, and I'm really starting to think, you know what? He might be the one that I turn down for sex the rest of my life. He's really special. I'm like, no, I'm done turning down strangers for sex. It's you and only you, buddy. I noticed this year that I've started treating having sex like paying my taxes. I mostly see if I can get away with not doing it. And then I get caught and I'm like, okay, how much is it gonna take to smooth this all over? Man, once a year comes fast. I feel like being in a long-term relationship, some people here might feel me on this, it's a little bit like trying to get a little more life out of your disposable razor. You're like, maybe it wasn't meant to last this long. Just dragging it through all the rough patches and bumpy parts. Like, no, I'm sure it'll smooth out again soon. I feel like maybe I should toss this one out and get one that doesn't give me a rash. I love my boyfriend. He's very sweet, but I do feel like when I need me time, I feel badly using up the sexual energy on myself without sharing it with him. It feels like I've finished off the last of the yogurt without him, without inviting him to share in the yogurt. But as some of you in couples may know, it's hard in a long-term relationship because, like, trying to be in the mood for sex is like trying to be in the mood for yogurt. Sometimes he's not in the mood for yogurt. Sometimes I'm not in the mood for yogurt. Sometimes it's been so long since either of us have had yogurt. We're like, is it still good? Sniff it to be sure. As I said, I'm in my 30s. I'm being a little more insecure, especially in an industry like acting that tells me what I look like all the time. I find it horrifying that the part in a man's life where he stops being willing to do absolutely anything to get laid intersects with a woman's life as she's starting to become more insecure about her looks. Because in my 20s, if I could get him to leave his girlfriend, I'm like, oh, I am killing it. But now if I can't get him to leave the couch, I'm like, oh, I'm killing myself. I have been trying to do things like skincare. All my girlfriends, that's our new hobby. That's our new sport since we've given up all the other sports as we've gotten older. Softball, soccer, blowjobs. Any physical activity where we might be taking a ball to the face, you know? I've been trying to get on skincare trends to stay young. There's mostly the skincare trend just seems to be slathering your face with the most expensive liquids you can find. So every night I very diligently cover my face in gasoline. That way if it doesn't work, I can just light it on fire. Friends are like, oh, what's the new chemical peel you're using? Retinol? Ethanol. Talk about premium skincare Saturday night. I think skincare is a myth. I think aging gracefully is a myth, everybody. I think everything that supposedly gets better with age gets better with age up to a certain point and then just rots along like the rest of us. Wine, cheese, women. You're like, oh, it's turned. Little bitter, obviously. I think the one thing that I've found positive getting older is I'm less vulnerable to serial killers. The best advice I get from women 60s and up is, oh, honey, yeah, as you get older, you become invisible to men. I'm like, oh, that explains why I already feel so much safer. I get the guys in here don't understand the safety concerns we have as women, but we sound ridiculous to you when we go through all the mental gymnastics of things we do with safety in mind. Like a simple walk to our car becomes a total obstacle course just this week. I was walking back to my car, and I do this thing where if no one else is around, I walk down the street to make sure no one on the sidewalk snatches me. But on this particular day hey, I'm still snatchable. On this particular day, between me and my car, there was a windowless white van backed up with its back doors open to the street. And I thought, okay, Maxie, as I get to those van doors, I'm gonna walk wide around it just in case there's a serial killer inside the van waiting to snatch me. But as I'm getting up to the van doors and about to go around, a car comes speeding down the road at just the right moment that forces me to jump into the van doors to get out of the way of the speeding car. And I was like, oh. What if the serial killer inside the van who was waiting to snatch me coordinated with his buddy to drive down the street at the exact right moment that would force me into his trap? And then I was like, okay, Max, you're being ridiculous. What are the odds of falling into the trap of a man who plans ahead? That was a long way to go to make fun of men. Actually, I drove down from LA for that. That was even longer to go for that. I love men. I don't want you guys leaving here with the wrong impression. I get women coming up to me after shows being like, me too, sister. I hate men. Fuck men. They're the worst. And I'm like, I literally never said that. Wow, women really are better with subtext. Huh. I love men. To me, most men are like wines. Most of them are pretty okay. There's just like a few that should probably stay locked in a cellar. How lucky is my boyfriend? Am I right? Some of you are like, I still don't believe that she has one. I got some advice from my father, who is the best person to take beauty advice from. He said, hey, if you're having trouble getting jobs because of your age in the acting industry, you could just sell Botox like your cousin Lindsay. Dad, what would my sales pitch be? This is what it looks like if you don't buy my product. She's like, I'll take 10,000 units. Actually, you only need like 4. No, the rest are for you. I see a lot of women doing stuff to their faces, to their bodies. It's kind of scary to me because some of them look fantastic, but some of them, woof. I see girls making so many modifications, they look like dolls. You've seen this. They look like dolls, and it makes me so sad. I'm like, honey, what man is gonna want you when he could have a real doll? I think it's nice to do stuff to your body if it makes you feel good. Like, people will be like, oh, tattoos, they're gonna look so ugly when you're older. I'm like, yeah, everything's gonna look ugly when you're older. Go for it. At least if I have SpongeBob on my shoulder, I got someone to grow old with. But there's these ladies, I work in a fitness studio with a lot of women 60s and up who, when they were younger, got giant fake tits. And they didn't realize that later in life, they would have to get maintenance surgery on those fake tits, which means undergoing a major surgery later in life, which I'm not prepared for that kind of consequences, you guys. Imagine dying on that table and then headlines being like, death by titties. All the women reading it like, oh, what a shame. All the men reading it like, that's how I'd like to go. Having to be like, yeah, my grandma's having her chest cut open today. Oh no, double bypass? No, double D's. All right, tepid Saturday, I like it. I hope you're, it's okay, you got men coming on stage now. It's gonna be great, you're gonna be fine. I know we're afraid of a woman talking about not liking her looks. You're like, I get enough of that at home. You don't look fat. You look fantastic. I feel worse for my friends who are getting older and they're doing more traditional things like having babies. It's much harder for people on track. I'm clearly not very traditional. I feel so bad for my friends in their 30s. They're dealing with fertility issues. They're doing things like IVF. They're like, Maxie, it sucks. I have to have sex even though I don't feel like it. I'm like, oh my God, I had no idea. I've been doing IVF this whole time. I think it's kind of a scary time to bring babies into the world, if I'm being honest. Has anyone been to an urgent care recently? Going to an urgent care is like the only restaurant where the waiter can keep you waiting 4 hours, and by the time he gets to you, you still have to be like, thank you so much for seeing me. I can't even afford health care for myself, let alone a baby. I don't even go to the doctor anymore. I just buy a plane ticket. Wait till we're about 500 feet in the air. Ding! Is there a doctor on the plane? Specifically a gynecologist. Filling out forms like, who's your insurance provider? Southwest. I don't think I could have a baby though, because if you can tell I'm not that chill to be a chill mom like so many of you probably are, you gotta start with a chill woman, which I'm not. There's a reason people are like, calm down, have a drink, not calm down, have a baby. All right, frosty Saturday night. Are we ready for some male comedians? I know that's not the reason. We are getting loose. We're going to have a fun time. We are so lucky. These next two comedians are going to make your Saturday night electric. This next comedian has a special out on Apple TV right now called War Bar. Make it warm and loud for Michael Regilio!
All right. Wow. Thank you so much, you guys. It's a very special night. It's a very special night, not just because you guys came out, but